Isolation of an aging loved one can be a very dangerous thing. And a lot of times, just the fear or the discussion of isolation puts more pressure on you, the family caregiver, because now it's like, oh, I got to go see my mom more. I got to see my dad more. Well, that's probably true. But the fact is that you kind of need things in place. And if you are seeing the signs of a loved one being isolated, and we just went through COVID, right? COVID was, a multiplier of isolation for a lot of us, for a lot of us in our work life, but also for the seniors and the aging loved ones in the community. This really hit them hard. So I'm going to give you 5 things to look out for, and then I'm going to give you 3 things to help you overcome isolation. Okay, so the first thing to look for really is, personality, the depression that you might notice. And depression comes with the things that people are saying, that they're very down. The lack of drive that comes from loneliness and depression is very dangerous. It could be a physical danger, and it could be a mental danger. So both of them are very important. So looking for those clues on loneliness, all right? The next thing is there's a cognitive decline that often happens to people that are isolated. So turns out that you have to talk and listen to people in order for our brains to continue to march on comfortably, right? So being isolated doesn't allow for that. Number 3, this seems kind of obvious, but if nobody's there to kind of notice things, then a lot of things go unnoticed. So what things am I talking about? Well, it could be signs of dementia go unnoticed. It could be really long toenails, or it could be that they just have a cough that just doesn't go away. A lot of people in this older generation, they're tough, and they hunker down and they get through their physical problems. And a lot of times they don't want to go see a doctor because, quite frankly, a doctor kind of scares them. It might tell them that there's something wrong with them, even if there is something wrong with them, and maybe there's an easy solution to whatever's wrong with them. You don't see somebody for a long period of time and they're not having interaction with anybody else, something very easily cured can go unnoticed. Some people will not eat unless they're asked to eat, or if they're eating with somebody else. So some people get malnourished just because there's nobody really there to enjoy a meal with, or just to remind them that it's time to have a meal. And number 5 is the number one reason that older people fail and or go into the hospital and or pass away, and that is falls. So when you're isolated, you have a tendency to not move around as much. You don't get as much exercise. Therefore, your balance isn't as good, and you have falls. Well, of course, we've all seen that commercial, I've fallen and I can't get up. Well, that's a real thing. And I've come across that in my caregiving business, is that people have had falls and then they end up on the floor for a very long time because nobody's there checking in on them. So those are the top 5 things I think you should be looking out for in terms of, isolation. Now, what can you do about it? All right, there's three things that I've come up with. There's more, but 3 things that I think that are applicable. The first one is finding a way over to the senior center. So senior centers are, relatively inexpensive and or free. You can get meals there. You can hang out with other people the same age. Of course, the big draw is bingo. So, don't forget the bingo. That's a huge deal. But even things like, they'll read the newspaper out loud to folks, and they'll just have different activities, and even things like yoga from their chair. So, they really challenge themselves to have a lot of good activities, but mostly it's all about bringing people together and, fighting off that isolation, which is a huge problem. The next two things is going to sound like a sales job because these are both in my wheelhouse, but these are two of the biggest action items that you could take if your loved one has isolation issues. And the first one is, of course, finding a caregiver, having a companion come over a certain number of days a week, certain number of hours during the day. They can help them, of course, around the house and anything physical going on, but mostly they're there as another person that they can talk to. And then lastly, I would say assisted living communities are really built for the idea of somebody who's been isolated. And a lot of times this might happen after somebody loses a husband or a wife at home. They have a need for more communication, and a lot of times there's a little bit of a fight that goes on with, resistance to going there because they don't really know that assisted living communities are built for people like that. And they're built around the idea of having really good restaurant quality food. They like to play games and have movie night and lots of opportunity for friends and companionship. Also, getting out of the community a little bit and taking trips over to, Morro Bay and Cambria for the different festivals that they have over there. If you do identify it, let me know, and we can come up with different options for you and see what works out the best. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.